This is the second attempt at live stream today. Yay! We're not gonna build the system. We're gonna talk about something that literally. Okay, for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna tell you guys my first and second name, my first and middle name. This story is not too keen to me, and I'm doing it on a live stream because. So, as one does, I was watching over all of the seasons. I was rewatching all the seasons of BuzzFeed's Unsolved Supernatural, and I was gonna do non-supernatural, but we're starting with supernatural. And we got to this one. Which I'm not gonna lie, guys. This is the most thing I remember about my mom telling me about my childhood. Is this. So, if you guys don't know, and haven't known, my first name is Emily, and my middle name is Rose. So, I'm Emily Rose. A year after I was born, literally a year. I was born 2004, and this happened 2005. A movie was released. Can you guys guess what the name of it was? If you guys just Googled something that had anything to do with Emily Rose made in 2005, good on ya. It was, I don't even want to say it. You know what? We're going to leave it up to BuzzFeed. We're going to leave it up to these guys. Oh my god, their description box. Who takes all, oh my gosh, so mad respect. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna comment something first. My name is Emily Rose Miller. And this movie, it's a movie, guys. What is it? Filmed in theaters. Released a year after I was born. Suck this shit. I think Mom just got home, but we're gonna talk about this. I'm not doing too well, guys. Okay, let's just BuzzFeed people
We're about
talk.
to discuss the case of demonic possession, so chilling and controversial that it actually became the movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose, would follow.
I'm just gonna leave it there. You guys heard it, the movie of Emily Rose. So, the movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose was released in 2005, which was a year after I was born. Which you can understand how off-putting this was for my family, because a year after they named their daughter Emily Rose Miller, Emily Rose, the movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose comes out. If that's not off-putting, I don't know what is. My mom didn't tell me this until after I got depression. So, after my grandparents were dead, Mom's just like, Oh yeah, by the way, year after you were born, a movie that was literally your name was released, and it was called The Exorcism of Emily Rose. And I sat there like, why? Why, God? Why do you do this to me? And we're just BuzzFeed.
Is the true story that inspired that, The Exorcism of Annalise Michel.
Oh,
It's one of the
thank God. I mean, when I first watched this, I was just like, thank God there was no Emily. But why did they have to do Emily Rose as the name?
few like actual cases of demonic possession that went to court. Wait, did they like sue the demon?
Did they sue the demon? I'm sorry, that's funny.
1952, in the small town of Klingenberg in Bavaria, Germany, Annalise Michel was raised as a strict Catholic and was described as very bright and likable. In September 1960.
Whoa. Literally me. You're talking to the person who has a cross hanging in her room. Who has like 15 Bibles in here? Literally. Let me walk over here. Jesus Calling. This is a book my granny got us all. I got the children version. And then we have Bibles. Old as hell Bibles. This is one of them. Oh my God, this is old. Yep, this is a Bible. Oh my God, it's old. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to make a video just on all the Bibles we have. My God. Oh my God, look at the cover. The cover. It's either real leather or oh no, it's real old. And I think it's real leather too. Look. This is, oh, I dropped something. That's probably important. It's a postcard. Is happiness birthdays reward? Then to your hands that wealth be poured, and it in friendship trove 'tis stored. May I for you your riches hoard. What? Oh, that was just in here. Oh, I don't want to break this book. I really don't want to break this book. This is a family heirloom. This book is old as shit. Oh my gosh. The story of the gospel. Is this not a Bible? So confused. The story of the gospel. Yeah, I think it's the story of the gospel, but old as hell. Oh, there's a piece of paper in here. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, back then I was acting weirdly when this movie came out. Because, I mean, I'm just gonna leave this. Yeah, there, looks good. Oh, look at that later. Let's just continue.
When Annalise was 16 years old, she experienced her first episode of losing consciousness. And later that night, she felt as if something...
Can I say something here? I do believe in ghosts. I do believe in stuff like this. That's why there's a cross in my room now, so I'm pretty religious. I know there are Bibles here. It's just this one I thought was an actual Bible, but it's the story of gospel or something. What's it on the cover? Story of the gospel. Is that like Bible? And oh my God, the dust that just whoof. Ooh, that's on top. The leather is so dusty. I'll leave you over there for now. I can't believe. Listen, guys. I know I keep on pausing this. and I know I probably sound like a complete idiot right now, but I'm literally, this is a show, this is a thing on BuzzFeed. Season 1, Episode 2 of BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural, and it's literally talking about the behind the what this movie, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, was based on. Why does the thing have to be my name? Why? I don't put a cross in here. This broom gives me the creeps. Man, I know there's a lot of Bibles. Bible ways don't protect me. Need holy water. I need holy water. Let's just continue.
He was pressing down on her chest, pinning her to her bed. 11 months later.
Oh, what I was gonna say is that could literally be sleep deprivation and sleep trauma.
In August 1969, a similar event occurred, and her mother took Annalise to the family doctor, Dr. Vogt, and a neurologist, Dr. Luthi, who examined her and even ran an EEG, a brain scan.
Oh, I was like, what's an EEG? I think they have a different name for it. Maybe it's DEEG, but I've never heard my mom say it. She's a nurse.
Found nothing wrong. They hypothesized that.
Well, yeah. But yet again, this is 1969 Germany. So.
It could possibly be a form of seizure. Over the next 3 years, Annalise would have 2 more similar episodes and was prescribed 2 medications.
I'm glad there's episodes just like this channel. Beautiful.
Convulsive medication and an anti-seizure medication called Dilantin. On both occasions, an EEG.
Okay. I'm gonna look up Dilantin. Oh. Dilantin, yeah. Dilantin. Side effects. Oh, okay. Warning. Cardiovascular risk associated with rapid inflammation. Okay, that doesn't. Tell me not. See dosage and administration and warnings of the precautions. So one of the pills she was taking, I just looked up, and the only warning it has is cardiovascular risk excessive with rapid inflammation. Fudge. Can't speak. But that was only one of the pills she took. Yeah, prescribed anticonvulsant. I have no clue. Brain scan was normal. Brain scan had mild irregular patterns in episode 4 with time, but that's.
He would come back normal with some minor irregular patterns, but nothing that would definitively explain her symptoms.
Yeah, minor irregular patterns. Can you shut up, dogs? I'm trying to make a video in here. Yeah, wonderful. I still haven't posted the other 2 new episodes of the bath bomb things that I filmed.
What year was this? This was in 1969.
Yeah, 1969. So they didn't have the best technology back then? In Germany, at least, maybe. But I feel like Germany was ahead of the times. Or was that just Germany and Europe in general? I feel like Japan is next level.
Okay, I'm fine with that so far. That sounds real.
Okay.
Little spiders on me. Sorry if I blew it on you. Well, you did.
It was in spring 1973 that things took a turn for the stranger. Annalise began to hear knocking sounds in her bedroom. Sounds her sisters would hear as well. But even more alarming, Annalise also reported hearing a voice damning her to hell. Her mother was further rattled.
I don't like that.
Annalise furiously staring at a statue of the Virgin Mary with.
Furiously staring at a What's weird is I think I have this exact same thing in my house somewhere. I just looked over there and I found like 15 different Bible-looking things. Oh my gosh, that one looks older than this one, maybe. Don't ask why we have 5 million Bibles. It's normal. This is cool, though. This is real leather. It's really old and being very gentle. The papers look okay. Surprisingly. I mean, they've been on a shelf for however long. Never mind. What is this? Okay. No, please don't break. You're beautiful. So far, I'm not liking this. And this is the second time I've watched this. Okay, The Chilling Exorcism of Annalise Michelle. No, it's spelled Mitchell, but fudge that. So, if it was Annalise Mitchell, why was it called The Exorcism of Emily Rose? Let's just listen.
Eyes turned black, jet black, and her hands seemed to turn into thick paws with claws.
Okay, Beauty and the Beast is happening, except for Beauty is the Beast. Okay, so the way that I described her, she was very religious, very cheerful, kind. I'm like the opposite. I mean, I'm kind and cheerful, but when I'm like too tired to give a fuck or like I don't want anyone to talk to me, I wear like dark colors. And then people are just like, yeah, stay away. And if I get really pissed, I just start wearing a choker and everyone knows that something's wrong. They just either leave me alone or they're like, are you okay? Go away, damn thingy.
Some chunky paws in her daughter. Uh-oh. You know what? Let's move on. Let's not get caught up on the bare hands. I shouldn't even said that.
Yeah, we can't move past her having paws.
I knew you were gonna like that. I'm just gonna move past.
Kitty cat paws.
In September 1973, in a neurological visit with Dr. Lupi,
They said like wolf and beast paws, and he's like, little kitty cat paws. No way similar.
Annalise described horrific visions of demon faces that were tormenting her and stated that she felt the devil was inside her. She also reported smelling something that had the aroma of burnt feces, a stench that many around her would report smelling at later times.
Why do all these people know what burnt feces smells like? Well, I can imagine it just smells like feces with a little smokier. Is it a bee? See what you get? This is what you get. Yes, sick.
Around this time, Annalise's mother described these strange occurrences to Dr. Lupi, who, according to Mrs. Michelle, advised them to consult a Jesuit, a claim that Dr. Lupi would later deny.
Religion officials.
Yeah, if he said that, go see it. That's fucked up, right? Yeah.
Whether or not that's true, the family...
A claim Dr. Lewis would later deny. A claim Dr. Luthi? I don't know. Would later deny. According to Michelle. Fuck you. What? Bye, Ben, you take care of this. It literally almost gave me a heart attack. Okay, according to Miss Michelle, advised them to consult a religious official or a Jesuit? Jesus? Someone religious official. We're just sticking with that.
Emily definitely searched for a priest and eventually found a priest named Father Alt. In November 1973, Annalise met with a Freudian psychiatrist who diagnosed her as a neurotic with possible epilepsy.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys something. I was I diagnosed? My person, one of my people who prescribed medicine for me, she said I had like it was something with an O. And it was like, I was very quiet and timid, and I was like depressed, and I didn't want to talk. But I was just terrified of her. It was my first time meeting her, and I didn't want to talk. And she's like, oh, you should, here. And then this guy meets me, and he reminded me of my dad and a lot of my teachers. So I talked to him, I had fun with him, and he's just like, yeah, she does not have this. She is like the opposite of this. And my mom was just like, I know, right? I was just terrified of her.
And another neurologist found she had, quote, epileptic patterns. And
What's epilepsy? I think it's epilepsia or something. This tells you about my medical knowledge. Not much.
took her off Dilantin and put her on Tegretol, a much stronger drug. In July 1975,
Wait, what's Tegretol?
Annalise's extremely odd behavior worsened. She barely slept and prayed fervently all night. She ate spiders and flies, and even licked her own urine up from the floor.
Ew!
She destroyed...
Ew. Wait, why was her urine on the floor? Oh my God, that's
rosaries, crucifixes, and holy pictures on the walls. Annalise also exhibited strength that was, quote,
Wait, what is...
close to superhuman.
Whoa. It said that her strength was close to superhuman. I bent metal before. And I can lift both of my brothers. One of them is 21. Let's just... I am not possessed, guys. I literally have a cross in my room, and I know I'm not possessed. My grandma, if anything, the people who are possessing me are my grandma and grandpa. And I am not upset about that. I want them to possess me. I love them.
Fervently all night.
And I'm going to tell you guys something else. The name Rose runs in my family. My great-grandma was named Grandma Rose, and she lived in Croatia. My grandma is Carolyn Rose Molinak, or Black. Great. And I'm Emily Rose. So Rose runs in the family. And the Emily came from wanting to follow the alphabet because I have a brother named Alex, Ben. My dad's name is Chris. My mom's name is Denise. Emily. Let's just continue.
She ate spiders and flies.
Yep,
Even licked her own urine.
I want to hear what she
on
did with
floor.
the pictures.
She destroyed rosaries, crucifixes.
Destroyed rosaries. We used to have a rosary in here. Literally, piece of a rosary. We have a bunch of rosaries. This is one of the newer ones. I mean, it's old, but it's still newer. I have one from Croatia, but the top of it is literally in Croatian. And it's actually really cool. It's in my room.
Pictures on the walls.
Great.
Annalise also exhibited strength that was, quote, close to superhuman, throwing her sister, quote, as if she were a rag doll, and incredibly was observed effortlessly squeezing an apple with one hand until, quote, fragments exploded throughout the room.
I bet I could squeeze an apple till it exploded.
I bet you $1 million you couldn't.
Here we go.
3 days later.
This is Germany. This is before preservatives.
You hear that in the distance? It's the excuse train coming.
Wait for it. You're full of shit, Ryan.
But now you can't just see two hands.
What? She definitely used two hands.
You said one hand.
But still, that's not like an amazing metric.
A priest named Father Rodewick, a man considered an expert on exorcisms by his peers, reported that he was convinced that Annalise was possessed, and after deliberation with the bishop, an exorcism on Annalise was formally approved. It was to be carried out by a priest named Father Renz. On September 24th, 1975, the first exorcism rite was performed. Father Renz allowed some of the exorcism sessions to be recorded, and 42 audio recordings of the exorcisms were made in total. I'm going to play some clips from those recordings, but fair warning, these recordings are perhaps the most disturbing pieces of audio I've ever heard.
That's German. Just German, that's funny.
You know, she's
That's an angry German woman.
I mean, do you think that sounds like it came out of a girl? Like, yes, it sounds like a girl doing a funny voice. Like
I mean,
Your unrelenting skepticism.
I've been doing lots of funny voices. I can also do this. But I cannot sound like that. That's like two voices in one. That's not possible for the vocal cords to do on its own. I'm pretty sure about this, guys. I'm a singer.
Is exhausting. It drains me of all happiness and energy, and I hope you know that.
Say your name. I, Judas, and Nero, Cain, and Hitler. That's 5 of us. There's 6. We lied. We lied about him. Wait. It said Hitler.
It drains me of all happiness and energy, and I hope you know that.
Say your name. I, Judas, Nero, Cain, and Hitler. That's 5 of us. This is 4! Or is I 1? Oh, it was saying me and these other people. Okay. Who's the 6th? We lied about him. Lucifer, you lied about him?
That's we're all here. I ran out of evil people to think.
Literally said Hitler. Which, Hitler is like a recurring joke in my family because some people say we like other family members. My mom called my mom this, my mom called me this. And it's like you're like Hitler. So cheers to this. And also, we were doing the summer camp over the summer this week. And there was a little piece of confetti that we missed. And it was in the sign of the, like, Hitler sign. And we were just like, oh, it's Hitler. And it was like a recurring joke. And then the last day, I guess the runners got it on the other side because it was their time to sweep up the confetti. And I was just like, no! Everyone was laughing at me. It was just a little piece of confetti and it was cool. But
the blonde man from Die Hard is also Skeletor.
The blonde man from Die Hard. The Skeletor from Masters of the Universe.
Heath Ledger's Joker.
Heath Ledger's Joker. Yeah? Okay. Yes? They can't see. Oh my gosh.
Jack Nicholson.
Not Jack
You
Nicholson.
cartoonish. You had your fun.
Yeah, I've had my fun.
Okay.
Annalise also named Fleischmann as one of her demons and provided accurate details of the real Fleischmann, who was a priest in the 1500s that was kicked out of the church for bad behavior. These details came as an
Bad behavior.
icing shock to Father Alt, who claims Annalise would have no way of knowing Fleischmann.
That is the only thing that is strange to me. All the other stuff is just things that a person could do.
To learn more about demonic possession, we sat down with Father Gary Thomas, a Vatican-approved exorcist, who explained to us different signs of possession. All of these Annalise had.
One would be an aversion to the sacred. So a person walks in this church and can't look at a crucifix, and you only see the whites of their eyes. Another would be knowledge of hidden things, where the demon will begin to tell you things about yourself that the person himself would have no way of knowing. Another would be possessing a kind of inordinate physical strength that it will only possess. The last sign is sort of epileptic-like seizures on a person's face and the moving of their arms and legs in a way where they lose complete control.
By May, Annalise became even worse, banging her head against the wall and biting herself and others, to the point where her family had to tie her up to prevent her from hurting herself. But most dangerously, Annalise refused to eat. She described it as, quote, not being permitted to eat. Despite being quite frail, likely weighing under 80 pounds, she exhibited great strength when people tried to restrain her.
Yeah, I just feel bad for her at this point.
Yeah, I do feel bad for her.
She's definitely tortured.
By June, Annalise's entire face was sunken. She also refused a doctor visit, even though she had a very high fever. On June 30th, Annalise had another exorcism, only saying please, absolution. The next morning, her family went to her room and found her dead. Despite seeking medical attention early on, Annalise refused to submit to medical attention in the end, as she and her family ultimately placed all faith of recovery into the exorcisms. She died of starvation at the age of 23 after 67 exorcisms, weighing only 68 pounds at the time of her death.
Do you think that just made her, like, buy into it more? If people started exercising me on the reg,
Exercising you in the reg?
yeah, I might eventually be like, I guess I'm demons.
I would agree with that frame of mind, but Annalise's belief that she was possessed predates
all
the exorcisms or the priests or any of that stuff.
After her death, Annalise's parents and the two priests were accused of negligent homicide, and the case went to trial in 1978. What follows are the two sides of that case. First, let's review the position of the defense. The defense presented eyewitness testimony and formally submitted the recordings as evidence of possession, an idea that the court never seemed to take seriously. From a non-religious standpoint, the defense argued Annalise was permitted to deny medical treatment, as was her lawful right. For what it's worth, medical treatment might have included tranquilizing her, force-feeding her, and electroshock therapy. Quote, all presumably against.
Wait, what? Okay, for the person that's joined, hello. We're talking about the movie that was released the year after I was born, and my first name and middle name is Emily Rose, and this movie is called The Exorcism of Emily Rose, and it's actually about like the exorcism of Annalise Michel, who was a German girl in 1969, I think, and she died after having like 60-something exorcisms. And I'm just okay, let's just continue.
Against her will, end quote. Family friend Bea Hein recalled in her testimony that in 1976, a few months before Annalise's death, Annalise reportedly, quote, begged on her knees for Hein to not suggest medical attention to anybody. Also worth noting is the fact that Father Alt actually looked for medical help towards the end. And on May 30th, his friend Dr. Richard Roth visited Annalise out of what he claims was scientific curiosity and not as a physician.
This was like, look, I'm not here as a doctor. I just want to see some of this craziness.
What? I'm curious. What the hell's happening?
Who fucking says that? I want to see this girl eat some spiders.
That's like something you say when you go to the zoo, not when you go see someone that's tied up.
That is a bad man right there.
Okay.
In his visit, Dr. Roth claims Annalise had no external injuries, although Father Renz noted she had several bruises, a swollen cheek, and black eyes. An interesting contradiction, to say the least. Dr.
What?
Roth also denied.
Oh, there can't be two different people that looked at her at the same time and saw two different images unless the demon was showing her one thing to one person and the other thing to the other. Because he just wanted to piss off the other. I wish this was a Bible. I'm just gonna hug it. Oh, it's very dusty. It's very old.
Denied saying, quote, "There are no injections against the devil," end
Why?
quote.
Shady as fuck.
Yeah.
Curiously, in spite of all the supposed epileptic attacks, an autopsy revealed Annalise had a healthy brain with no damage that could have caused epileptic seizures. Quote, "Not even on a microscopic level," end quote.
Well, yeah.
What say you to that?
I mean, you know, look, I'm not a, what's a brain scientist?
A neurologist?
There we go. Sorry. I'm not a neurologist. I don't know what the.
It's funny that you said that because the neurologist said the exact same thing.
Yeah. He said I'm not a neurologist.
Probably it sounds like it. You might as well.
Look, I don't fucking know.
I don't know. Go visit a Jesuit. Jesus.
Just get your shit stink out of my office.
And even more curious was the court's seeming non-consideration of facts, such as her pupils being unusually dilated and the absence of ulcers on her body, which are frequently found in victims of starvation.
Okay. All right. Any quotes on that?
I mean, you know,
This is great. The tables have turned, in my opinion.
Now, let's review the position of the prosecution. The prosecution argued that Annalise had epilepsy and psychosis, and that the parents and two priests were liable for failing to act to save her life. The defense
Wait,
argued-
I'm with the defense on this. This is really just a story of exorcism, but this is the truth behind the exorcism of Emily Rose, which was, I am too terrified to look at. So we're gonna go with the history.
notions of possession. They questioned the credibility of Father Alt, with the conclusion from two experts that Father Alt exhibited signs of schizophrenia.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's
But
weird.
schizophrenia.
He wasn't the guy that was doing the exorcisms, but he was the guy that initially helped Annalise in the beginning.
The prosecution also argued that the medications given successfully suppressed the epilepsy-like seizures, and argued that that suppression morphed into, quote, a delusional psychosis associated with epilepsy, end quote. They argued that Annalise's psychosis was exacerbated by the exorcism, which only played in...
I'm just gonna say this now. This defense and sounds like the two guys that usually like one's usually like this is bullshit, and the other one's like this totally happened. This is totally real. So we have the believers and the non-believers who are trying to find any possibility against this, but there is none. I mean, she already had no signs of epilepsy. She had no signs of seizures. She was given the medicine and did nothing. And she didn't actually have any of the what is it called? What is it called? Symptoms. No. Something with like the... Never mind. Let's just continue watching.
her fantasy. To piggyback on that, Annalise often went through phases between exorcisms where she behaved normally, even though she would behave as a possessed person during exorcisms. It's unclear if the epilepsy-like seizures were stopped by medication
Or the exorcisms could be helping her. We have one person again. Hello, we are talking about the truth and history behind the exorcism of Emily Rose, which was posted a year after I was born. Thanks, BuzzFeed. I actually didn't know what the exorcism of Emily Rose was. And then I saw this video and I was just like, oh my god, what are the odds? I really want to show my mom this video, but I think she'd be too, unnerved to see
or
it.
if they actually stopped on their own. But Annalise's psychotic visions predate the alleged medical
Predate the alleged
suppression.
medical suppression.
Weird.
Weird, yeah. It's definitely weird. Why?
Pardon.
Basically, they're saying that the psychosis was brought on by the suppression of the drugs.
Yeah.
But the
I like to say this now. This is a story that happened in Germany, correct? So why wouldn't Germany make a movie on it instead of America, or is America that fucked up? Let's just throw that out the window.
predates the drugs. Exactly.
In the end, the court ruled in favor of the prosecution, said
Because they're non-belief. Okay, the prosecution was just like, fuck all this. This isn't real. And the defendants were just like, this actually happened. We have visual audio evidence of this. And you guys are calling this bullshit. It's like 15 people that were there against, like, what, 2 that weren't? This court's messed up. Germany, get yourselves together. I'd like to point out one of the words that she said in one of the things was when they said, what are your names? Something, and the last name she said was Hitler. And I'm just like, what? I actually want to check if Hitler was still alive in 1969. I don't know if he was. Probably not. If you guys know this, because my brain's dead, please tell me right now.
sentencing the 4 defendants to 6 months in prison with suspension for 3 years and payment for all court costs. The court ruled that Annalise was unable to make decisions for herself. Should have been forced to...
She made decisions for herself. She said she didn't want to have any medication change. She didn't want to go to the hospital, and her parents didn't take her. She had decisions. She was given decisions, but they just didn't want to see their daughter hurting herself anymore. This is messed up.
...submit to medical care. Professor Felicitas D. Goodman, an author of a book on the case, notes the theories that Annalise was epileptic were presented as, quote, a statement of undisputable fact, not conjecture, as in fact they had been, end quote. How do you tell the difference between possession and mental health?
Sometimes both are going along side by side. You have to determine what is the root cause of the suffering of this individual. You start out with the discernment, and the discernment
Yes, get the priest in here to speak, because the priests know more than apparently the doctors and scientists of this damn world. Especially in 1969, my God. Listen, I love German. I can sing in German. My brother can speak in German. But this is no. Me. Let's go back and listen to the audio footage. I want to listen to the audio footage.
Exorcism sessions to be recorded, and 42 audio recordings of the exorcisms were made in total. I'm going to play some clips from those recordings, but fair warning, these recordings are perhaps the most disturbing pieces of audio I've ever heard.
Why are you all here? They have the right to be in this woman. This is in German. I will carry this brat so long. Wait. Yeah, I will carry this brat so long. So long until she croaks. This dumbass bitch. For us, there is no coming back. Never. For all eternity.
You know, she's screaming. She's giving up.
So I had to tell you guys what she was saying because it's in German. Thank God to BuzzFeed knowing how to translate, apparently. So go to the next clip. Say your name. I, Judas, and Nero, and Cain, and Hitler. That's 5 of us. Who is the 6th? We lied about him. Lucifer, you lied about him? Okay, one of the names she said was an old priest that was forced to leave the church because because of bad behavior, I think was what they said, yeah. Let's go back to the priest talking.
As the last resort,
given the evidence that we've seen and all the strange occurrences and the voices, I think there's sufficient evidence to not conclusively rule out that she was possessed beyond a reasonable doubt.
Sure.
So you acknowledge that.
I acknowledge there's a lot of factors in this case. I personally think there's something going on with mental health, and I also think that 67 exorcisms probably don't leave your mind in a good spot.
I can see both sides. I can see how it would be mental health.
I can't! I can only see the defense.
Possession. That being said, she should have gone to the hospital.
Yeah, get that girl to a hospital,
She's
please.
possessed or not, fucking force her to go to the hospital and let the doctors be like, holy shit, the shit's floating around.
PSA, if your kid's seeing spiders.
Don't take him to an exorcist. Take him to an exorcist, but do it at the hospital.
No, don't take them straight to the hospital. You do both.
Do an exorcism at the hospital. That's smart. No, it's really not. There are already enough haunted hospitals. Don't give another one. What the hell did I just watch? I mean, I've watched this before. The first time I watched it, I was like, ooh, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. This was published the year after I was born. This is what unnerved my mother about naming me that way. And the real person's name was Annalise Michelle. They couldn't use that name because copyright? I mean, did copyright exist in 1996? I'm not sure. I want to look that up now. It probably existed in 2005. But I doubt they couldn't use her name. Emily Rose just sounded nicer. It sounded more Christian and Catholic. And so of course they decided to go with the whitest name possible. Which is mine. Great. And I honestly, Kaylee, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. Because this is not only for lore for me, but for lore for your sister, who's also named Emily Rose. And, the video itself, posted by BuzzFeed, is 15 minutes long. But I kept on stopping it and saying, what the hell? And then I pulled this out of God knows where, the bookshelves. And this is so old. Oh, let's spend the rest of our time here looking at this old, what is it? Story of the Gospel. Great. There's a bunch of, whoa. It's in cursive. 1921. Okay. I think this is a family heirloom. I'm not going to have my mom read this. I don't read this. Oh, it says Rose. Ma! Can you read cursive? Can you do me a favor? I found this on the bookshelf. And I think the first word in this is to Rose. But I don't remember. I can't read the rest of it.
To Rose Henson. Don't break this for your book.
I know, I was being very careful.
From the First Presbyterian Sunday School of South Charleston, West Virginia.
1921.
Christmas 1921. November attendance, maybe?
There's also, I was flipping through a few of the pages very carefully.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is a really old book. And,
Yes.
where did I put it? Here it is. It's a postcard.
Mm-hmm.
Read what it says.
This happiness book. Into your hands.
It's very dusty.
Mm-hmm.
And the cover, I did not do this, by the way. It was like this. It's supposed to be sewn here, and I guess the thread over time.
Just leave it alone.
I'm gonna go put it back.
More.
Okay. Why do we have so many Bibles? So many Bibles. So many Bibles. Okay. So that's cool. This was my Grandma Rose's. It was given to her in Croatia. I'm actually very surprised this is not written in Croatian. It's really cool. I'm glad I ended this on a good note. Well, it's not really over. I want to see what else is over here. Else is over here. There's old medical books. I don't see any like older Bibles. The first reader, the rest of the readers. These are all music and gardening. Oh, there's a giant Holy Bible over here. Great. Wonderful. 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 More Bibles. We have so many Bibles. And then Jesus is calling. That was the brick Bible. There's a Lego Bible, everybody. We have it, of course. I'm so happy about that. We have something that's old enough, that's older than my Grandma Rose, and it was given to her in 1921 in Christmas as a Christmas gift. That's nice. I'm really surprised it wasn't in Croatian, actually. Well, I guess back then it would have been Yugoslavian, but now it's Croatian because Yugoslavia doesn't exist anymore thanks to the war, which is why my family immigrated over here. Of course, I was born in the U.S., so was my mom. I don't know, I think her dad traveled over here, yeah. But this is really cool. Do you guys want me to show you the brick Bible? Because I don't think I've actually looked at it myself. I mean, this is really cool. It's really cool. I couldn't read it. The only thing I could read was Rose. And it's just a short little thing. And I had my mom read it, because I suck at this. It's so old. It's so old. Oh! What? Wait, what? This is an old picture. Wait. Berthra S? Rose something. Berthra Mary. Berthra. This is so cool. That's Croatia. That's so cool. Look at that, guys. That's an actual picture. This is my great-grandma's handwriting. That's amazing. I knew I saw something else in here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I have to be very careful with this book. It's so old. I mean, it's not really old, but it's 1921. That's pretty old. I want to put this picture with the postcard. That's really cool. I really don't want to break it. It does need to be dusted, though. Can I dust it? Is that allowed? Got a lot of dust on my fingers now. Oh, God. Not the best idea to put dust on my fingers. That's really cool. I can't stop saying that's really cool. I'm gonna take this up to my room. I'm gonna try to figure out what it says. I'm gonna call some of my friends, see if they can help me. That's really cool. I'm gonna show Mom the picture. But what I'm gonna tell her, I'm gonna tell her I was putting it back in the shelf and it fell out. Not any pages, the picture. And I think it was one of her friends. I don't think that's Grandma Rose. Because it says a different name at the bottom. Hey! Chihuahua.
You're my crazy Chihuahua dog.
So thank you guys all for joining me with this live stream. If you guys didn't catch the whole live stream, once I end it, you can rewatch the whole thing and see what the hell I talked about. My computer just turned off. Great. Thanks. I'm gonna go show this to my mom, and I want to see her reaction, so I might leave these on when I go show her. Brett. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next live stream.